The Maritime Silk Road was one of the most transformative trade networks in history, connecting civilizations through vast oceanic routes. Acting as a counterpart to the overland Silk Road, this maritime network not only facilitated the exchange of goods, but also played a critical role in the diffusion of culture, religion, and technology. Stretching from East Asia to the Mediterranean, the Maritime Silk Road reshaped economies and societies over centuries, leaving an enduring legacy. Let's explore this fascinating oceanic network in greater depth through its origins, routes, participants, and lasting impact. The birth of the Maritime Silk Road. The origins of the Maritime Silk Road date back to the 2nd century BCE, when ancient civilizations recognized the immense advantages of sea-based trade routes over the land-based Silk Road. While the overland routes connected East Asia with the Mediterranean through Central Asia, the maritime network offered faster, more cost-effective transportation of goods. The sea routes reduced the logistical challenges posed by deserts and mountains, making long-distance trade more efficient. Early maritime trade was driven by the high demand for luxury goods, such as silk, spices, and ceramics. The Han Dynasty in China and the Roman Empire were among the first to capitalize on these sea-based trade opportunities. Archaeological evidence, such as Roman coins found in Southeast Asia and Chinese ceramics discovered along the Arabian Peninsula, highlights the early interconnectedness facilitated by the Maritime Silk Road. Over time, the network expanded, incorporating new regions and players into its fold. Key trade routes of the Maritime Silk Road. The Maritime Silk Road consisted of several interconnected routes that spanned vast oceans and seas. These routes allowed goods, people, and ideas to flow seamlessly across continents. The most significant routes included the South China Sea. This was the central hub of the Maritime Silk Road, connecting key Chinese ports like Guangzhou and Quanzhou with Southeast Asia. Chinese merchants exported silk, tea, and porcelain while importing tropical goods and spices. The Indian Ocean. Often called the heart of the Maritime Silk Road, the Indian Ocean connected Southeast Asia, South Asia, and the Middle East. Indian ports like Calicut and Cochin were critical nodes for exchanging spices, textiles, and gemstones. The Arabian Peninsula and the Red Sea. Ports like Aden and Jeddah served as vital conduits, linking the Indian Ocean to the Red Sea and, subsequently, to the Mediterranean. This allowed goods to reach Europe via Egypt. The Swahili Coast. Cities along East Africa, such as Kilwa and Zanzibar, exported ivory, gold, and slaves while importing textiles, ceramics, and spices. These interconnected routes formed a complex web of trade, ensuring that goods from one corner of the world could reach another with remarkable efficiency. China, the heart of the Maritime Silk Road. China was the driving force behind the Maritime Silk Road, serving as both the starting point and a major contributor to its success. The export of Chinese silk, porcelain, and tea formed the backbone of this trade network. These goods were highly sought after in the Middle East, Europe, and Africa, making Chinese merchants indispensable players in global trade. Under the Tang, Song, and Ming dynasties, Chinese ports flourished as bustling centers of commerce. The Ming dynasty's emphasis on maritime exploration reached its peak under the leadership of Admiral Zheng Yi, who led 7 grand expeditions across the Indian Ocean between 1405 and 1433. These voyages showcased China's naval superiority and expanded the reach of the Maritime Silk Road, establishing diplomatic and trade relationships as far as East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. The Spice Islands. Southeast Asia's role. Southeast Asia played a pivotal role in the Maritime Silk Road, acting as a crossroads between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. The region was known as the Spice Islands due to its abundance of valuable spices, such as cloves, nutmeg, and pepper. These spices were in high demand across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, making them some of the most lucrative commodities of the ancient world. Key ports in modern-day Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines became vital transit points where goods from China and India were exchanged with spices from the region. The Strait of Malacca, in particular, emerged as a critical choke point, facilitating the flow of trade between the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean. Control over this strategic waterway was fiercely contested by regional powers, further highlighting its importance. India, the crossroads of maritime trade. India's geographic location made it a natural hub for the maritime Silk Road. Indian ports like Calicut, Cochin, and Surat became key centers for the exchange of goods such as spices, textiles, gemstones, and perfumes. Indian merchants acted as intermediaries, connecting traders from China, the Middle East, and Africa. Beyond trade, India also played a significant role in the cultural diffusion facilitated by the maritime Silk Road. Indian religions like Buddhism and Hinduism spread across Southeast Asia and beyond, influencing art, architecture, and societal structures in regions as far as Cambodia, Thailand, and Indonesia. The Arab world. Masters of maritime navigation. The Arab world was a crucial player in the maritime Silk Road, serving as both a trading partner and a bridge between the East and the West. Arab merchants, renowned for their expertise in navigation and shipbuilding, dominated trade routes spanning the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea. They used the monsoon winds to their advantage, enabling efficient travel between Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Ports like Aden, Jeddah, and Muscat became bustling hubs where goods from Asia, such as silk and spices, were exchanged for Arabian incense, perfumes, and textiles. The cultural exchange between Arab and Asian traders also led to advancements in navigation, including the use of the astrolabe and improved maps. East Africa, the Swahili coast's contributions. The Swahili coast of East Africa, including cities like Zanzibar, Kilwa, and Mombasa, was a vital part of the maritime Silk Road. These cities exported gold, ivory, and slaves to Asia and the Middle East, while importing ceramics, textiles, and spices. The interaction between African, Arab, and Persian cultures along this coast gave rise to a unique Swahili culture, characterized by its architecture, language, and traditions. Archaeological evidence, such as Chinese porcelain discovered in East African settlements, underscores the extensive trade connections between the Swahili coast and the broader maritime Silk Road network. The cultural exchange along the maritime Silk Road. The maritime Silk Road was not just a commercial network. It was also a conduit for cultural and technological exchange. Religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, and Islam spread across regions, leaving a lasting impact on the societies they touched. For instance, Buddhism traveled from India to China, Korea, and Japan, influencing art and philosophy. Islam spread from the Arabian Peninsula to Southeast Asia and East Africa, shaping local cultures and governance. Technological advancements, such as the compass, the lateen sail, and improved ship designs, were shared across civilizations, enhancing maritime navigation and trade. Challenges and the decline of the maritime Silk Road. Despite its success, the maritime Silk Road faced numerous challenges. Piracy posed a constant threat to merchants, while political instability and natural disasters disrupted trade. The rise of European maritime powers during the 15th and 16th centuries marked the decline of the traditional maritime Silk Road. European explorers like Vasco da Gama bypassed established routes, creating new trade networks that shifted the balance of power. Legacy and modern relevance. The legacy of the maritime Silk Road endures in modern times. Coastal cities that once thrived as trade hubs, such as Malacca and Zanzibar, remain cultural landmarks. China's Belt and Road Initiative aims to revive the spirit of the Silk Road, strengthening global connectivity through modern infrastructure projects. The maritime Silk Road serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of collaboration and exchange in fostering progress and prosperity. Exploring the oceanic network that shaped history. The Maritime Silk Road was more than a trade route. It was a bridge that connected civilizations, facilitated cultural exchange, and drove technological innovation. Its impact on history is profound, shaping the cultural and economic landscapes of the ancient world and leaving a legacy that continues to inspire. If you enjoyed exploring the fascinating history of the Maritime Silk Road, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more engaging content on history and culture. Let us know in the comments which aspect of the Maritime Silk Road intrigued you the most. See you in the next journey through history.